veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never trapped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say.
All right, I don't know who that is, but I can hear us playing in the background. So somebody have their headsets not on or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, guys, welcome in. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. My life is a mess. I've changed from Android again to iPhone, and now I want my Android back because I can't figure out nothing. How are you guys doing over there?
Yeah, when I heard the theme music, I thought it was the remix going on. I said, oh, the remix kind of hot, right through the middle of the song.
Was that you? Was that you messing us up, playing with my mind, knowing that I'm over here pulling my hair out? Was that you, Alex?
I plead the fifth commandment.
It was you. There you go again. See there, you know what? See, my friend Ron, he is much smoother than you. Hey Ron, how you doing?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Great. Other than pulling my hair out, Ron is, like I was saying, Ron is much smoother. He ain't doing none of that. He into this podcasting game all up and through, and he know what he doing. I don't know about you. Magnetic. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm a little cold. I've been gone 2 weeks, so I'm trying to get back in the flow myself,
You know what? Yeah, let me, on all seriousness too, let me say I am so sorry for your family and your loss. We've been praying for you, and you've been in our thoughts. Are you okay? Are you all right?
Yeah. I want to thank everybody, for our loss. My brother-in-law, my sis, kind of having it hard. You talking about a 34, 35-year marriage, so.
Wow.
Very tough on her, but she, hanging in there, and we're hanging in there with her. So I just want to thank everybody for being there for me. I got inboxes I got DMs on IG and Facebook and text messages. So it's been a wonderful thing. I appreciate the love.
You're welcome. Like I said, I don't know what to say. 35 years, together with in the same marriage with the same two people. That's got to be a tremendous loss. And again, you have our condolences, and we'll continue to pray for your sister and her family, the rest of the family. But I know she's got a good, sturdy person and a listening ear with you being in her life, because you're a great person in that way. You really are.
Yes, she had a solid support system. We came up from New York. Family came from all over New York, Texas, to be by her side. So. It was a wonderful thing to see, but I really appreciate you guys, and I miss you guys, so I'm ready to get started. It's a mess that's been going on with RTL the last 2 weeks, and I've been out the loop.
Okay. I'm laughing at Monique, our moderator and team member. She says, Miss Aubrey, why would you go over to Team iPhone? I know. Don't ask why. It's a long, convoluted story. Don't even ask, okay? But needless to say, my Android broke, and I was at last minute crunch, and I took what I could take. So that's what I ended up with, okay? But Ryan, you okay down there? What's going on with you? Your life all right?
Everything's good. Golden over here.
Golden over there. And so is it by Golden? I take it that you mean that you're with the Android family, huh?
I'm with team both. I got two phones.
Oh my God. Ron does everything down in Texas. He does everything big. Two big phones, an iPhone and an Android. Okay, you know what? That could be the way to go. I hadn't thought of that. That could be the way to go.
So Ron, is that a subliminal way of saying that you're bi?
No.
Wait a minute. You missed it. That was our last podcast. That's Married at First Sight. We ain't going there right now. We're not going there. We're
Okay.
not going there. Thank you, Mocha. Mocha's giving her condolences. We're gonna move on past that, okay?
Thank you, Mocha. Thank you,
Oh,
baby.
Lord have mercy. All right. And so is Monique. She's giving her prayers also. And of course, Roro and even Ryan has reached out, I'm sure, to you. A lot of
Yeah.
our team members have reached out. So we want to acknowledge, thank you, all of you, that even if you didn't, reach out, but you just said a prayer or just kept Alex in your thoughts and his family in your thoughts. We appreciate all of that because it's all good, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what's going on? Might as well go ahead and get all into this because it's a whole lot this week. As usual, is the plot is thickening. We gonna get to your friend. We're gonna get to your friend, Ryan. We're gonna get to him. I had my eye out for who was gonna be the friend he brought, and to say I was shocked is an understatement. I
Yeah,
was
I gave
shocked.
you warning.
Well,
And
Blake,
Roro. Oh, go ahead.
Blake, Blake setting records though. He really set records because who was been in the bottom every week and made it this far? That's a record.
Nobody. It's
Nobody.
unheard of. It's unprecedented, right, Ryan?
Yeah. They'll usually even just switch somebody up in the bottom, even if you got the more votes.
Sue Ann, talking about Sue Ann maybe being in the bottom or no?
No, she had the least votes. She should have been in the bottom. But sometimes if you're at the bottom a lot, they'll switch another person in there just to give a different face, get somebody else a chance to, be down there. They did that in my season when Liz was in the bottom and I had to do her thing. I was like, girl, first she even sat down. I was like, girl, you weren't really in the bottom of vote.
Right. I'm trying to remember Liz being in the bottom, but I think they did surprise us one week because Liz.
Yeah, she was in the bottom. I did her. You're still ready to love, and I was like,
oh, right. You did the elimination day with her. Okay,
yeah, and I was like,
I got to go back and look at your season. That was
y'all
juicy.
keep these free drinks coming because I'm wasting my time here because she wasn't in the bottom.
Right, we kind of knew what. Just
yeah, I was there for the vote. I was like, it was some people there that had less, more or less votes, but they didn't want to put them in bottom multiple times and stuff. So
right,
and you the audience a little bit. I get it.
And you guys that are in the chat right now or watching this on replay gang, I see you. I see you coming in, checking out the videos, but forgetting to like the videos. Can we all say like the videos, guys? Can we all say that, Ryan, Alex?
Like the video. Like the video.
It's just a thumbs up. You know where that thumb is? It's pointed up. Just hit that. It's free. I promise you. So anyway, guys, we move forward. We open up with the men in the gentleman's lounge, and Tommy, Uncle Tommy, nephew Tommy, cousin Tommy. I don't know. Tommy is he's all our family member. We know him. We love Tommy. Okay. Tommy is in this church, Reformed Church lounge, which is kind of maybe an analogy for something. I'm not sure what, but he gives the men their assignment, and their assignment this week is to introduce their best friend to their top connections. Right? The men are supposed to get their friends' feedback on what they think about the ladies and who's a match that's ready to love. Right? That's what the order is. Get the match who's ready to love. Let me go over here to the comments and see what's going on over here while I'm looking at my notes. Oh, thank you, Roro. Yeah, Ron does have it all covered, right? And Blake definitely does have 9 lives, right? Oh, interesting thought right here. High Vibe has her own take on it. Blake is a plant. I just don't get why he keeps being spared, and he has only one connection. Hey, yeah. So
you only need one connection. You only can have one connection at the end of the day.
But weren't we still even in the beginning and the middle of the day, and he only had one connection, Ron? I mean, to be fair, now we know at the end
that would get it done. The only season when that started to change was with Cornelius and Camille. I mean, I didn't understand that then. I was like, they got a connection. They should have went to the end. I don't know why they casted them
right.
That was the first time they did that. But before that, one connection would have got you there. A good one.
That you're right. The what was that? Was that Potomac? Was that the Potomac season?
DC.
I thought it was considered Potomac. But anyway, they were in the DMV in one of those seasons. You're right, with Camille, and I was just on shout out to Kayla.com. She just had me on this week or last week for colorism in the industry. So that was a very great. Go over there and check out Kayla.com. So she has a great video up right now with many of us in it. But anyway, I met Camille and I met Zadia, and they gave me a lot of insight that I didn't have to their season. So that's very interesting. But you're right, Ron, to your point. That's the first season that we actually saw people being eliminated that had a connection. Was that
Yeah.
crazy or what?
Yeah, it was crazy. It threw me off, but that's the new thing now, I guess.
I mean, even though the show is about love, it's like if you got a connection, people are saying, "Well, take your connection and leave."
Yeah, it made no sense to me. I thought, like, hey, if you had a connection, that's what it's all about. The sooner
What,
you get there, the better.
well, that's when people start self-eliminating. If their connection get eliminated, then they
Then
self-eliminate.
that's different if your connection got eliminated, but if they still there. Shoot, y'all, we want to see y'all story evolve.
Oh,
I don't want to see
okay.
no people get together in the last fourth quarter.
Right. And you know what? We got a new guest. Hey, welcome in, Junior XTV. I've seen you many times before around as a podcaster yourself. Nice to have you in. Welcome in. He says Blake has Sue Ann, and some of the cast don't have any connections at all. So send them home before you send him home. So that's a very good point. You're right.
Game.
Right. Why are we sending him home? I guess he does like him or not, like him, love him or hate him, or just neutral to him or whatever. Don't even care. He does have a connection, and I thought that was part of the show. Yep, Monique, you must not be checking the community tab out. I posted that video, but definitely look at the community tab, guys. The video is posted there that we did with Kayla. Colorism in the media of TV and media. Very good chat. Very good chat. Roro was there. Roro came and checked it out. So anyway, so getting back to my notes here. My notes. So which one of the ladies is ready to love? First date, we got Andre with the curl, the poof, and the Jerry curl. He has Jeffrey and Cynthia to meet his best friend, right? And Cynthia talks about how she has 2 kids and a dog to offer, and nothing else as far as children. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Did you guys, as men, did you catch on? Like, was she saying that she's not planning on having any more children? Is she's 2 and done? What's going on with that? Because I wasn't sure what she was saying.
Looked like she was saying she wasn't having no more.
Mm-hmm.
Offering you 2, and you can have a dog if you want.
Right,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
She was offering the dog. Okay, so I heard her correctly, because I had to play it back a few times and I still got the same thing. So I was like, oh, okay. So
Yep.
that's what we doing now. Okay, all right.
The dog is the end of the road, buddy. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
She should have came with that earlier, though. I don't know if all the guys knew all that, but
Right. Because I mean, is it just me now? I was just telling the buddy Ron and you and Alex, you both guys. So tell me if I'm correct or not. Okay, so when you're younger, and you haven't had a man hasn't had children. Let's say guy's dating, he's not had any children of his own, and he's dating and he's thinking about marriage. I've always been raised to believe that most men that are dating that are of a certain age, let's say 25 to 45, and they don't have any children, that they're going to marry, and one of the primary reasons they're marrying is because they would like to probably procreate, have children inside of wedlock, and they're expecting or wanting to have children. Am I wrong about that, or did I miss something here in this new millennial generation?
No, you didn't miss
85%, 85% is.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
Some don't want none, but you know what I mean? They'll let you know that up front.
Okay.
But yeah, somebody like Andre, who is successful in that he's gonna want some kids. He's gonna want legacy.
Yeah. Most men they want to see to carry on. You know what I mean? They really do. So after they're done with the playing around and all that stuff, and really thinking about getting married, whether later in their 40s or whatever, they do want to have children if they don't have any.
Right. You guys tell me out in the chat. JR, I see you out there. I don't know if Kirby's out there. I haven't seen Kirby wave his hand, so maybe he's busy right now. But all of our regulars, if you're a guy especially, I would really like to know, and ladies too, you can join in the conversation out in the chat, or even in the comment section if you're watching on the replay. Young men that marry, let's say 30 to 45, 25 to 45, they're marrying, they want a wife. Don't most of them, not saying all, because it's never all of anything, but most men that marry that don't have any children of their own, don't they typically want their wife to have children or try to have children? I mean, only God knows what's going to happen, but I'm just saying. So that's a thought. I thought that was interesting that Cynthia has had the children now, but now she just wants the marriage without children, more children. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But anyway,
And
go
Aubrey,
ahead.
Cynthia, the one with the brash ex, just coming at everybody. Was that the guy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cynthia's the one that has the ex that is giving everybody a hard time. Particularly, he gave what was it? He gave Andre a hard
He gave
time.
Andre a
they
hard
don't get
time.
they don't get along that well, and it's like, so I can't have no children of my own, but I gotta I gotta pay for the legacy of this guy who I don't even partially like that much. It's tough pill to swallow.
Right. That again, that's how, I've had some of my daughter's friends that have come to me and we've talked, and the one young lady, not mentioning any names, that had a child and was talking about, she wanted to marry, got herself together, great career, doing well, beautiful daughter, well mannered. And she was saying, but I'm not going to have any more kids. And I was like, but do you realize that most young men your age or even a few years older that have no children, they're going to want you to try to have their baby? Like, has that not crossed your mind? I don't know where this millennial generation has gotten really into self and not into like what is really marriage about and what it's for. Part of it is raising kids. Part of that value in marriage, to me, what I was always taught in the generation I grew up in, part of marriage is creating legacy, raising your children, and building wealth and a family together. So I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
marriage today seem like you could do for me as long as you can, and after that I'm gone.
I'm gone.
It's
Yeah,
it's selfishness to the fullest.
it's selfishness. Yeah, it's kind of like a generational thing too. It's very selfish. But in any case, in this scene, as we see the date going on with Cynthia, with Andre, Jeffrey is as usual laying it on very thick about what she feels and how she moves and how she operates. We know that she's going to use that baby voice. She's going to be very feminine and delicate. And we've talked now. I have to say, we've talked for years about some of the women not being feminine enough. Jeffrey has taken that to the ultra max level. I mean, like, she should be giving classes on how to be feminine and talking to baby voice. But enough about that. Andre's best friend wants to know how these ladies' other connections compare. And the women go on to basically say pretty much the kind of canned answer is, well, you can't compare two men to one another. They are totally different. They are totally unique, right? Did you guys have any thoughts or feelings about what the women were saying about how the men compare to one another?
Yeah, you kind of went off a little bit. I wanted to get on
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Cynthia's ex a little bit because to
Mhm.
me, he seems kind of torn between I'm scrutinizing the guys because they're going to be around my children, or I just don't want her to have nobody. He may still be holding on to something with
Ooh.
her because he was just a little bit too hard for a guy just asking questions and seeing, who she would prefer to be with. He was a little bit too hard. And Audrey just wasn't having it. At some point, Audrey said, look, I'm out of here. Because the guy's like, oh, you Fortune 500. I didn't ask you that. You make a lot of money. I didn't ask you that. And it's like, bruh, we having a discussion. You know what I
Right.
mean? What you attacking me for? So it's like, I'm not dealing with that. So if I got to deal with this dude to be with her, that's going to be an issue for me.
But to his defense, and this is out of Cynthia's own mouth,
Okay.
he started off bad. Before Andre
Mm.
even introduced himself to him, he called the guy T-Pain.
He called him what? He called him what?
T-Pain, the rapper.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
T-Pain.
I have no idea. School me.
Yeah, so he looks like him a little bit, but you instead of like, he's the guest. He's coming over here, not getting paid, spending his time to tell you about his old woman, and it's supposed to be some kind of level of respect. You don't walk in there and call him out his name. You know what I mean? Even if you just being funny right off the back, it's a little immature, and that sets the tone. And now, my man's coming no gloves off now because already disrespected him, and that's why Cynthia said I stayed out of it because now you disrespected my baby daddy. Now it's just man on man. Now,
I misunderstood. I'm sorry. I don't know if I got up for a beverage or what happened, but I kind of missed that part. So, you're
they
saying
edited it out. They edited it out. She said that part got edited out.
okay. So Andre said that to her children's father. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's when he got upset, and so it started
rude.
off tension. And
Yeah.
she's like, once you didn't kind of disrespect my baby father, I gotta stay out of it now. You know what I mean? And she
Ooh.
said that Andre, apologized, said, knew he was wrong for it. So they had to talk about it. So they cool, but you know what I mean? It was like, that's how that started.
So this for the first time is actually an editing issue.
It's always
Okay. Okay. And you heard about this. Okay, I'm not gonna even ask. But like I said, come on over to Ashley Aubrey and find out all the tea, because Ron will give the tea. Okay, Ron, gold star for that one. I love it.
Yeah, this came out of her direct mouth, so I'm just directing the exact words. I believed it was right, so I was just.
Oh, okay. Okay, so he compared her guy to a rapper, a well-known rapper. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, that wasn't necessary, especially if we're going to compare Andre to somebody. I'm not really sure who we're going to compare him and his bang to.
Well, it's just like I said, she's bringing a guest on the show. These guests don't get paid. They waste, they're taking time with their work and their family it's supposed to be in order to teach you something about the lady. You're supposed to come in there showing respect. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. You know what I mean? If you really want to, your object was to really get to know her, and he's doing you a favor, it's supposed to go like that. You ain't supposed to come in, T-Pack. You know what I mean? Like, I understand how it happened. You got a little comfortable too quick. Like,
oh, okay. And then the other thing of it is, well, yeah, I to your point though too, and I'm just gonna say, like, is my cat doing something special over here? I'm gonna say I think usually when two men interact and they don't know each other, typically you do give one another respect. I mean, that's typically what I've seen. I mean, if you're meeting, this is like, an introduction, and this is somebody that's supposed to be important to you, and everybody wants to make a good impression, especially the new guy, which would be Andre, right?
Yeah.
That's what I would think. So anything else you got, Alex, you want to add anything? You really don't feel like, it seems to me, Alex, like you really don't feel like Cynthia kind of kept her guy in check, her children's father, when I say her guy.
Yeah, I didn't have the perspective that Ron just gave us, because once you do that with a man, all bets are off at that point. All respect is out the window ASAP. Now I think Cynthia's ex did drag it on a little further than probably he should. He could have handled it in a more mature way and say, bro, we didn't have to go there. If you're gonna be around my children, I got to get some things straightened out. But he made it seem more like he just didn't want her to have anybody, because he was hard on both the guys, not just Andre. He was harder on Andre, but he was hard on both the guys. Who's the other guy? Mark Anthony that was sitting there?
Regular Anthony.
Oh, Anthony. Yeah, just Anthony.
Anthony, yeah. And Anthony actually handled himself very well on that date. He seemed like, he said, hey, he didn't say a lot. He was respectful to her children's father, and he gave him the respect that was due him. And he just handled it. And when he had to leave, he said, hey, when the guy said, well, can't you stay longer? Her ex, he said, no, I can't. But he said, check it out. You get my number from her. I'm not going anywhere. He was really laid back about it, but yet respectful, saying, I'm not going anywhere, which I thought, like, wow, like, where's this Anthony been hiding at?
Right. Starting to come out now toward the end, the real Anthony,
It's starting to come out a little bit. Right. And so I thought it was interesting. One last thing on this date that I thought I wanted to say. Andre says that Cynthia is strong when he's talking. This is after the ladies have gone. Now he's talking to his best friend, and he's saying that Cynthia is strong, but yet Jeffrey is meek. Brother, I don't know. I think you kind of missed the boat on that one, but
big time.
Then Andre also says that Cynthia bothers him, that she was so assertive and she answers so quickly that it bothered him. I'm getting the feeling that this is what they call it, cap. I think this is cap, because because I think what it is he's actually bothered by Cynthia's ex, and the last episode where he was really being kind of manhandled. I don't think Andre has gotten over that, and he's holding on to it and holding a grudge against Cynthia because of it. Ron, am I right?
No, I think honestly, he's just more physically attracted to Jeffrey.
Okay, that too.
Yeah,
but
it's hard for us to comprehend that, as just especially some of the women, because Cynthia is so beautiful. But some guys, he's got their preference, and Alex knows that as being a man and stuff like that. And you could tell that he literally is more sexually attracted to her by far.
Yeah, physical connection is powerful, very, very powerful.
Well, yeah, and you know what? I agree with you guys. I'm not disagreeing, and I see that as part of the physical attraction, though, is also emotional, and this whole Well, as I see it, I feel like it's a little bit of a representative that Jeffrey has brought, in that she is so ultra feminine, and yet in my eyes as a viewer, I see her as also a little bit manipulative and strategic. Okay, so I'll say it's strategic. She's very strategic. So if you know, between the two women, they're both beautiful, but you know, when you got strategy in the game and you're playing chess and not checkers, of course you're gonna win. You're gonna come out on top, of
But we're
course.
ready to love is about, for the men, it goes so fast. It's about comfortability, right? So if I feel comfortable kissing Jeffrey and I know I can go up to her, wrap my arms around her, kiss her on the neck, and have that chemistry, but I don't feel comfortable with Cynthia doing that with her yet, I'm going to gravitate more to Jeffrey just because of the process is so fast. You get it?
Mm-hmm. Right, right.
So that's how he's feeling. Like, I know I can go up to her. We got, the understanding with each other. I can go up and get a kiss anytime I want to. I can slap her on the booty if I wanted to, playfully and stuff like that. I don't feel comfortable doing all that with Cynthia yet. Even, we ain't there yet. So it's
Oh.
just further place over there.
Jeffrey to me kind of give the vibes of a quiet assassin. I watch her very closely. She don't get overly excited. She don't attack people. She very seldom raises her voice, if ever. She's very like Aubrey said, she's playing chess and not checkers. You know what I mean? Very strategic in what she's doing. Very much so.
Right, right. And so we move forward. Mark Anthony, on the next date, Mark Anthony and his friend Rail meet up with Mercedes and Jeffrey again. Jeffrey is popular. Okay. Okay. So the question that Rail asked the ladies is, how do they resolve their issues in relationships, right? How do they resolve their issues in relationships? Do you guys feel like they did a good job answering Rail in that date?
Ron, you take that.
Yeah, I think they said communicate. They gave the regular BS.
Yeah, the party line, because basically, because Jeffrey said, yeah, right. She says, oh, yeah, I'm gonna make up with my man. I'm gonna be sweet and feminine with my baby voice, and I'm never gonna curse him out. Never, never, ever, ever.
Ain't nobody
ever,
trying to hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't trust and believe her. You don't trust and believe her. What, Alex?
Friends, trust me.
Yeah. Trust me, I know behind closed doors, Jeffrey's a fireball behind closed doors. I'm telling you.
Well, we saw her. We saw her when she was meeting toe to toe with Sue Ann the advocate and your boy Blake, Ron. We saw what she can do. So that's just a little. That was just a little inkling. That was just a little smidge. I'm waiting for the reunion because I think she's gonna bring the drama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I really, really do. I really, really do. So but yes, but so relationships, Jeffrey. Oh, and then when asked what their weakness is, of course, this was just like when you go on a job interview and they ask you what is your weakness, in working and whatnot, and you always say something that's actually like a positive. So Jeffrey says that she overthinks things. She's got to put her mind on things and all of this stuff, and she really gave a smooth answer. I thought she gave a really excellent answer. Oh, and the other question the ladies were asked was, and this comes up throughout these dates, is about the number one and the number two thing. Who's the number one? Who's the number two? And also they discussed children. We know that Andre doesn't have any children. Is he really equally yoked with these two women who are already mothers? Is that going to be an issue for him? And I think someone said it.
Date, or are we talking about the Andre one?
We're still on Andre. We're still on Andre.
Okay. You said Mercedes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Mark Anthony. Mark Anthony. His friend. You're right. Mark. What is it? It's Mark Anthony. You're right. Mark Anthony and Mercedes. You're right. And Jeffrey. That's being discussed. You're right. What did you think about that?
I think Mark Anthony finally told on himself. Like he was being as smooth as he could possibly and playing the game and stuff like that. And then when his boy asked him about, can you really see yourself with a woman with 3 kids? He
yeah.
It was like I just can't, like, So I think I saw that at the end for him and Jeffrey. I feel she caught on to that too. And I just feel that he was like, yo, his line after that was, I don't know,
I mean,
gotta see, what else she brings to the table and all this. That just means no. Yeah. We all expected that, but at least you can stop playing games with her and let that be.
Yeah, we seen this weeks ago. Mark Anthony he don't want no parts of the 3 children.
Yeah, he was trying to play along. We got a real answer with that. That was a dead giveaway to me. He was just like,
now he want parts of her, but he don't want parts of them 3 children.
But that's how the 3 children get here. The part that he wants, that's how them 3 children get here. Well, next date up, Fine Rs Troy. That's right. I said Fine Rs Troy, Lyndon's best friend. I thought he was very fine, very fine, very fine indeed. I was liking the looks and I was feeling him all the way. Okay. I was over here fanning myself because Troy is fine. But anyway, he's Lyndon's friend and he meets up with Morgan. And because Morgan is Lyndon's only connection. Lyndon does go ahead and tell Troy that, hey, about the nair and the hair incident. And they kind of have a laugh about it, which I'm not so sure what exactly is funny about this nair in the hair. Guys, if you're in the chat, tell me if you thought that was funny or was that an assault? Because I thought it was an assault, but that's just me. Maybe
huge red flag for me. Huge.
Big red flag and an assault. And I don't know which Googler that Morgan was on that said that she couldn't go to jail for that, because I think she's wrong about that. I really do. But anyway, Lyndon, he mentions that incident. And of course, Morgan walks in and it's stunning as usual. I mean, the lady is drop dead. She's just gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. But the thing that she talks about with the friend, Troy, is that she has a problem with Lyndon having a 5-year plan versus her 2-year plan. Guys, tell me what you think about that. What are your thoughts?
Well, look, I always say this. Marriage is a business, okay? This is why you need a license for it. This is why you got to go before the justice of the peace and do these different things, because you need a license just like you run any business. And most businesses, if you go statistically, either fail or succeed within the first 5 years, you'll know, okay? So this is how Lyndon is handling this. Like, okay, I got a 5-year plan like most businesses, and we'll know within 5 years if this business is going to last for the long haul or is it going to start to fail within the first 5 years. That's how he's looking at it. Morgan is like, listen, I'm great. I'm a great woman. I need to know now. Within 2 years, you better let me know something. I'm wife material. Well, she can say that, but the men have to feel that. And if you put in nair in people's hair and handling conflicts in a violent manner, that's not wife material. You can only get over with because she got a beautiful facial structure. She got gorgeous lips. She just looks gorgeous. But that's only going to carry you for so long. Men get tired of that after a while. So that's how I feel about that.
Right.
I'm gonna take Morgan's side. I'm gonna take Morgan's side on this one.
Really?
Yeah, because if you got a 5-year plan, this is not the show for you. There's no such thing as 5-year plan. If you got with a woman, y'all made it to the end, the audience is not going to let you go 5 years without marrying her if y'all together for that long. It doesn't work that way with Ready to Love. So
business, Ron, business. Are
you ready to love or not? You on the wrong show, buddy. If it's going to take you 5 years to do something with somebody, this is not the show for you.
Still business, Ron.
Women for you, this is not this. And
okay, Alex, let him talk.
And I put London kind of in that Mark Anthony situation, like y'all are playing the game, and that's just what y'all here to do. y'all young, y'all playing the game in this, but for the women that are intentional and ready, this is not, which most of them, the women who get on the show are, in some instances, this is not the right show for you, man. You can't have a 5-year plan on this show.
Right.
Yeah.
And men, we know that men have a different biological clock. Women, are on a clock, and once they hit 35, like if they're thinking about,
it's a show for attentional men. Rashid and Simone, a year. Mario Reva, like they moved together 3 weeks after the reunion.
Wow.
Yeah, Clifton and Joy, that was a year proposal. You know what I mean? This is how the stuff is moving with this. This is how it works in Ready to Love. Like it ain't no 5-year plan. There ain't such thing of it. We've never even seen it. It doesn't exist. Couldn't happen if it wanted to. So yeah, wrong show, buddy.
Yeah, but many times things that start fast end fast. It's a crash and burn effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're at, Alex. In the real world, yeah, 5 years is okay. But if you volunteered to be on this show, there ain't no 5-year women on this show. That ain't how it works.
Right. Many of them this season. I'm trying to think who. Well, Jonique was the youngest. I was just thinking about Jonique.
Jonique can't wait 5 years for no dude. Ain't no girl. No. There's never a woman in Ready to Love history. Then I've met a lot of women, female castmates for every season that's waiting 5 years. That was volunteered to be on this show that's going to wait 5 years for a guy. Not gonna work.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's true. That's true. That's a good point, guys. You covered that one for me. That is definitely true. So Morgan talks about that she was making a grand exit with on this date with Lyndon, that she would never treat her real for sure real man that way, but that was a grand exit. That's what she was doing on her way out. But I don't know if anybody caught that, but it makes me wonder, like, if she's on her way out, even with a husband or a fiance, and she decides she's leaving, like, what else is she gonna do? Like, you know, what's she gonna do? Slash your tires in your car? What?
I mean, yeah, again, you know, people think that during this dating process or whatever, that women are the only ones collecting data. Men collect data too, you know.
All right.
And I'm looking at Morgan, the way she handles conflict. She doesn't handle conflicts in a mature way. She has violent tendencies. She has anger issues. Okay. And I'm looking at that. And once you know, see, men, we tend to look at the physical. You know, we thinking about the bed and what we could do in the bed and all this other kind of stuff. But once you get enthralled with this person and intertwine your life with this person, and you start seeing these other things, you start looking toward the door. It's like that old rap song, looking at the front door. You know, you start looking that way. You know what I'm saying, Ron? Because I'm not going to have nobody. If I can't sleep comfortably in my own house because you're going to do something to me while I'm sleeping. I mean, come on now. I mean, you got to think about that.
You know, and Ron, to your point, you made a good point about this last week when they first discussed the nair in the hair. Tell our viewers that maybe weren't here last week. I mean, how you felt about that as a man? Like, how would you feel if you woke up and your hair was all gone because of this? I mean, what does that do to a man?
Like I said, to a man, it's the most scariest thing ever, because especially she made it worse when she said that was the exit move, the gut punch. Because a man does, okay, forget the hair. We're not just thinking about the hair. Hair grows back. But it's already scary enough in this climate for a man to get married. Now I'm worried about, since you're gut punching people on the way out, okay, I know for now I'm guaranteed to lose half my stuff when we get in a divorce battle. Because you're going to take me to court and you're going to get the best lawyer. You're going to try to hammer me in. Yeah, I know you're going to take the kids. I know you're going to, you know what I mean, empty out the bank account before I even know it. I know you're going to plan to give it to me as hard as you can.
Right.
If it ends before it goes in. Yeah. And I'm already scared of that as a man. Every man is scared of that going in. I don't care how lovey-dovey or how.
Guys, keep the conversation going. I gotta mute for a second. I gotta take care of something. Okay, go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't care how loyal the woman is. A man in the back of his head is already thinking about that because we hear all the horror stories. But she gets told you, oh, they're all true. Oh, this is basically gonna happen. You know, when a woman tells you something, you got to listen sometimes. And he was listening and saying, okay, if this ends bad, it's going to end bad. Yeah. And you do not want that as a man.
Yeah. And Ron, this is a situation where the guy she put the nair in the hair, they both had agreed we were casual. This was a casual thing. We weren't committed. He was doing his thing. She was doing her thing. You know, supposedly their hearts weren't in it. But I think Morgan's heart was in it much more than his. Okay. But if she's doing that to a guy in a casual setup, imagine what she'll do to a guy that she's actually really, really head over heels in love with and get hurt or have discontentment about.
Yeah, she's gonna put the nail in the coffin on you.
He's really in danger.
Yeah, she's gonna put the nail in the coffin on you. And I'm not saying that she's abusive or anything like that. She's gonna, you know, harm you and physically or anything like that. But I'm saying, when you got sharing all your stuff and you got all that trust, and a woman has that much access to your personal stuff, and she's talking about if it goes left, you're going to have to deal with me, it's scary.
Yeah, a woman scorned, bro. She's not just content with breaking up. She wants to destroy you in the process.
Yeah, and I think I was talking to a friend of mine. He just got divorced. And he was like, he said, I'll never get married again. He was like, you know, I was with this woman 14 years of love and stuff like that. And when we went to divorce, it was like it's like she was a stranger again. He's like, that's how much of a 14-year loss of my life I felt. I got into it with this woman because she was coming at me so hard in the first quarter. So I was like, this is a stranger. And I was with this woman 14 years in my prime life. He was like, this is crazy.
Wow.
So that's how quick emotions could switch. You know what I mean? When a woman is not really looking at it and saying, you know, hey, you know, this guy has been solid. You know what I mean? At least he was paying for dinner, took me on dates. He treated me good. You know what I mean? It's not working out. I can just take the loss and just go about my business instead of her not even thinking about any of the good stuff you did and the good man and solid you was and the friendship and the love and go straight to destroy him.
Yeah, because that's why the famous song "It's a Thin Line Between Love and Hate" by a group called Bloodstone. Okay, because just as you love just as strong, you'll hate just as strong. The same person.
And see, the opposite of love is not hate. A lot of people think those are opposites. Those are not polar opposites. They're actually kind of like the same, two different sides of the same coin. To me, to love someone and then to have the opposite of that when things are over and they're terminated, they're no longer, they're irreconcilable differences and you can't make up. Guess what? It's just to be neutral. It's just not to really care anymore about that person. To me, that is the extreme opposite. And I'm just not going to go about tearing up anybody's life because that's not the right thing. And all the energy to me that you put out in the universe, you're always going to get it back. So it's negative. You're going to get it back 10 times as hard negative, right? And it's not a thing like love is not so scary. You love and you lose because guess what? It's about you knowing that you can always bounce back, just like with financial issues or any other issues, health issues, you can always bounce back. And that's the perspective that I keep. So I'm never going to want to harm anybody like to that point, to go to that level, right? Like if it's something that you're doing to me, it's illegal. There's always a defense for that. It's called the police and the court systems. But I'm not going to, all this stuff putting nair in the hair and all of that. No.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you said that, Aubrey, because there is a universal law that we all must live under. And like you said, what you put out will come back to you. It may not come back the same way, but you're going to get something. So that's just how that works.
I think so. But as we move forward, so and thank you guys for hanging in there. Apparently, people were checking on me because my phone had been out. So they were actually coming by and not realizing I'm in the middle of a whole podcast. I'm podcasting, guys. Don't come by the house. Call my phone. It's working now. Even though it's an iPhone, it's actually working now. Like in the midst of all my broke phone and phone breaking and cracked screens and everything. But anyway, Morgan says that she's territorial. I said that's an understatement. But something. So moving on to the next date, Sue Ann. We find out Sue Ann is divorced and has a child. And then later on, we find out that it's two girls. We find out that she has two kids, something I didn't. Now, Ron, you probably already knew this about the children. You knew this was going on, that she was divorced and had two children. So maybe, is that why she's a good fit for your friend Blake?
No, I always thought, I mean, I didn't say anything, but yeah, on paper, they're the best fit out of anybody on there because he has all boys. She has the two girls. Both probably don't want more children. Can blend the family very easily.
They one girl short of the Brady Bunch. One girl short of the Brady Bunch.
And if you're a guy with a bunch of boys, you secretly in your head always wanting to be around some little girl energy and probably vice versa for the female. So, you know, you can blend the families a little easier. And, I mean, they're both successful. So, you know, it's not a financial issue. So,
I mean, it makes sense to me because, you know, Sue Ann's a very, very busy attorney, you know, high profile attorney at this point. She's on the Shanquella Robinson case. She's very busy. Okay. Blake has 3 children. He got his hands full, you know, so I think they make the best fit as far as that goes. You know, I initially thought Jeffrey because they actually had 3 and 3. You know, they actually had the 3 and 3.
Right. You like that Brady Bunch.
Yeah, they were actually the Brady Bunch with them too, but they just didn't gel, you know. But I think that, you know, Sue Ann is a little bit more even keeled in that regard as far as her thought process. You know, a lot of you guys like Aubrey think she's a little bit misguided because she likes Blake so much. But I think they do make a good fit.
No, but I think Sue saw that first. You know what I mean? I commend her for being a woman that took the process seriously and said, "Hey, okay, I'm looking at all these guys. I know I got 2 kids. Who could I fit with? Okay, here's a nice looking guy with 3 kids. He don't want no more. I don't want no more. I'm putting my cards here, and that's what you're supposed to do."
Yeah, but Ron, how much of it do you think is you can respond or not respond? But how much of it do you think is the fact that because that's Blake's only connection, that he's using her just to get to the end, to get through?
What a connection could they have? Is what I'm saying. That this makes sense. You know, kids wise, everything like that makes sense. Then you're gonna gel together. Like you can't. Some people on here are not in the business of doing the Mark Anthony and say I'm just gonna parade a woman with 3 kids, knowing I don't want to be part of 3. You know what I mean? It doesn't even make sense. I can't even act that well. Like I didn't go to acting school this month, so I can't act that out. I want to be around somebody who.
I got a real life question. Excuse me, guys. Excuse the banter. I'm sorry, but let me interrupt you guys. I got a real life question, and I'm not trying to be catty or snarky or anything. Is your friend, is he really that robotic in person, or is this what we're getting? You know, is it just seem like that's maybe who he is in front of the cameras? Is he that robotic in person?
Yes, a little bit. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll give it that. Not as this, he's holding back a little bit for the camera, like everybody is.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
I give him that everybody is going to.
Everybody's got to be in a little more, but with him being already kind of like that, it gets extra with it, right?
Okay.
Because he has to be a little more, careful what he's saying and things of that nature. Like he can't just be like with me. It's like he is one of the boys. He ain't loose with it, but he's loose with what he says, so he could tell me anything.
Right. I get that, and I'm not trying to get into any secret things or anything. One other question though, too: have you seen him with women in the past? This is before. I'm talking about before the show, right? Have you seen him with women in the past in his dating life, where he seems like he's really into these women or a woman that he's seen? Has he ever really been like really smitten by a woman before? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
He's gonna keep the poker face about it, but he keeps his women around, right? So like if you with Blake, wherever I see Blake at, he's probably gonna be with you. As other guys be like, oh, you know what I mean? I'm with my girl, we go out to dinner, stuff like that. But when I'm with the boys or I'm out doing something else like that, I want to break from her. And I want to act, you know what I mean? Not act single, but I want to be kind of in a different limelight. Then I'll go back to my girl. When you see Blake, he's going to be with his woman for the most part.
Oh, okay.
Even if it's in a nightclub scene, if it's in a single scene, if it's in a romantic scene, wherever it's at, they're going to roll together.
Oh, okay. Okay, now I wasn't expecting you to get that answer, and I trust and believe you. So I believe you. If you say that that's what it is, then that is what it is. Because the one thing about you, you've always been very transparent here on our show with me in person. Just, I mean, one-on-one, whatever. You're gonna tell what the truth is, or you're not gonna say anything at all.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna say anything. Like the Alex question, I know what he's asking me, and I know the golden answer because I heard it from Blake himself. I mean, I can't. I'm not gonna say anything.
Right. It was given that, and I was like, I wanted to just shout, Alex, he's not gonna answer.
Yeah, I knew what he wanted, and I had the golden ticket, and I guess I can't get that.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. It's a whole show, and when they want us to watch to the end, we get it. We do.
Well, look, like an attorney, I'm required to ask the question.
And you plead the fifth. What is it you always say? You plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth commandment.
Okay, Lord have mercy. Sue is not gonna like that. She is not gonna like that. But I thought it was interesting. Moving back on to Sue now. Sue says that this is when she meets LaShawn. She's telling LaShawn that she always has Blake's back in the ladies' lounge. She even talks about, which your friend Blake looked a little embarrassed, that Blake is always on the bottom. He is always on the bottom, and I'm always defending him. I am his advocate, and she is. But the interesting thing is that she said that this is her first intentional time dating after her divorce, which was a couple years ago. So, I mean, as a woman who's divorced myself, I know what that's like to be out in the world and start back dating again after you've had your heart broken and your dreams shattered. You're back out there dating, and for you to say that you're intentional about it, that usually means something really strong for a woman to say she's intentional and this is her first intentional dating. So I don't know. Maybe we're missing the chemistry between these two, but okay.
Did it kind of seem to you that when she's mentioned that Blake kind of acted like they ain't really talked about that aspect of the relationship yet?
Yeah. I
like
did
she's
get that.
never mentioned the husband that much. She didn't talk much about him, or she don't mention the kids that much. Like he doesn't have a bunch of that information.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He looked as surprised as I was as the viewer. But I'm thinking these people, Ron, you're always telling us that there's
We're talking on the phone 4 hours a day. So I don't know why. It'd be the first question I would ask her. Like, I don't know why.
Right. Like
he should know everything about the ex-husband. He should have that down to the
everything but the social security number. That's what I'm thinking. Like what? Like how you
that was kind of weird to me. Like
what?
Yeah, like you should know all that. Like,
but I will say this though, and I think this is what and Alex, correct me if I'm mistaken, but I think this is what Alex, myself, and a lot of other people are seeing is that Sue-Ann, she smiles, she's warm, she says the right things, and you're meeting that representative, but yet and still she's always holding things. We get a sense that she's holding things close to her chest, like she got the poker face, she not letting you see her cards, and that's when we find out this episode she got a whole ex-husband and 2 kids. We find that out on the next day. That's not even on this day. We just find out that she has a child, and then later on she tells Anthony. She tells Anthony and his friend, his married best friend or whatever, the lady Miriam, that she has 2 girls. So like none of this we knew, and apparently, like you said, even your friend Blake looks like he's confused. He don't know what's going on. They're not talking after the show. They're not talking in between days.
No, they gotta be though. Like it ain't, unless they get on a cold pack where they get like, yo, we just gonna go try to go to the end together and see what it is. If not, they have to be talking. Like it ain't no way you can survive on this show if you don't have a dialect outside of the dates that they give you.
Okay, if it's either or, I'm gonna pick the one I think it is. Okay, Alex, are you back? What's going on?
Yeah. It's like she's doing the lawyer thing in her professional life and her personal life.
Exactly. That's what
That's what it
to.
seems like.
Right.
She's holding back certain information because information is power. And as an attorney, she's like, I'm not going to give you certain information right now. I'm going to ration out what I choose to give you when I choose to give it to you. So she's very strategic.
Well, like I said, I know how production is. And when you get a person like Sue, who they're all like, oh, rah, even though she, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know exactly what she does, you know what I mean? But, she's in that sector. They're going to handle her with white gloves. So they probably didn't even want to put out that she had the 2 kids. You know what I mean? They probably slipped out and they had to go with it from there. But for the most part, she handled this whole season with white gloves. Because that was part of the agreement for her to even be on here.
Yeah, because they're afraid. She's a lawyer.
Yeah, she's a lawyer. They asked her to be on here, you know what I mean? So they got to handle her a little different than they're going to handle one of the dudes. You know what I mean? Forget you know what I mean? But her, they're going to handle with white gloves. So it's going to be, you're not going to see too much of her personal stuff getting out. You know what I mean?
Production handling stuff like, she'll give us some papers real quick. We got to chill with this.
Part of that. Yeah, like I said, when you ask for somebody else to be on here that's high profile, then you're going to say, the first thing they're going to say is, well, I've seen that show. I don't want any, negative stuff coming to my career. And they're going to tell you, no problem. We'll make sure we handle that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Right. Okay. I'm trying to get to some of the comments. Maybe from the children's standpoint, but not from an emotional perspective. Blake is problematic. I think so. I mean, you guys already know how I feel about Blake. But hey, he's on the show, right? So gotta cover him. All right. So getting back, I was talking about Anthony. Anthony, who is the nurse practitioner, he invites his married friend Miriam. Another guy that has a lady. So I think that was interesting that some of the men chose their female friends.
I think that's a big point that people that the average watcher is just gonna skip over. But it's important to address that because why
do you think that Blake and Anthony, what would be the advantage of inviting a female friend as opposed to a male friend onto this show?
That ain't the way it goes. So like I had to bring my friends on from my sector with Alexis and Chrysanthemum. I got to bring 2. So I brought a woman in a male just to bring, let people know I have female friends and a guy friend.
Okay.
But if I could only have chose one, it would have been my guy friend. You're cooler with your boys. You want to put your boy on TV. That it's just one of those things. All the other guys brought guy friends, except these two. Now I understand why Blake didn't bring a guy friend.
Why?
Because Blake's friends are in Houston. Blake don't have probably a lot of guy friends in Miami because he hasn't been there that long. Plus, here's the thing when you're bringing the girlfriend. I was looking for a girlfriend to bring with my guy friend because I could bring two. But it was hard to find a girlfriend because I didn't want to bring a girl on the show that I had past sexual relationships with, or I liked her a little bit, or she liked me a little bit, or things of that nature, because it's just, I think that's a very narcissistic thing to do in this situation. So
you're not going to do what the other guy from the last season of Miami.
I was just thinking that.
What was his name again?
I can't remember his name, but the woman.
Guy?
Yeah, the woman came up there and said they still having sex. So it's like, why would you bring her up here? She still had a torch for him. She still loved him.
The girls did. To be fair, the girls did have to ask her questions, but yeah, she was ready to tell him, "Oh yeah, he's still with me, and I'm still with him because we doing that thing."
Wow, I missed that part. But yeah, I was trying to so I had to really go into the Rolodex. I have a bunch of female friends, but I had to go to the Rolodex to find the right one, and I did. And even then, it was still a small close call because we went on a date or something before. You know what I mean? So it's very hard to do. So in Blake's situation, let's just call it square. The woman he brought is probably a woman he's had sex with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's
and Aubrey, the chat is saying that his name was LJ. That was LJ from last
LJ. Yeah, I knew it was some initials, but I couldn't think of what the initials were. LJ. Thank you, chat. Thank you so much. That's right, JR. LJ. Yep. LJ the lover, smooth LJ boy. He is just like, he brought his whole woman on the show. Say, I'm gonna have a side piece and a side piece, okay? Coleslaw and a meal, whatever. Like, really? But anyway,
so Blake, he ain't gonna have a Potomac good-looking girl as a friend. That don't work in that nature of guys like that. It doesn't work that way. So obviously, he's been with that woman before, and he just literally didn't have enough guy friends down there to bring a guy friend. So
okay, because of location. Okay,
location. So he brought something that he been,
And you know what's so funny? This is not to cut you off, Ron. This is a really small world in social media and in real life. So one of my friends, and you may know her, is a lady from Detroit who moved to first San Antonio and now is of Houston. She was in Houston the other day, and I was looking through IG, and she's got a picture with both Blake. She got one picture with Blake and the other picture with my J Brad, right? She had a picture with J Brad.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, what a small world. Like these guys, like she had a picture of J Brad, who had previously been on Ready to Love, and this season's Blake. I was just gobsmacked. Like, it is a small world.
We'll be on about. If you get to Houston, you're gonna run into some castmates for the most part.
I
and
see
Blake,
that.
like I said, Blake's roots are here. You know what I mean? So he's here most of the, a lot. But yeah, that was that situation there. Now with the Anthony bringing the girlfriend to the situation,
Mm-hmm.
this guy, man.
I'm not sure what to make of him. I'm not gonna go back to what I was talking about with Mary.
I'm just saying that when he was.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I pick up on everything. You know what I mean? I'm like, when he was.
What'd you pick up on?
That ending, man, with that laugh at the end, when he was like, with his eyes rolled in the back of his head, he's like, "Oh, child, girl." I
didn't say it this time, guys. I did not say it. It wasn't me. I just.
So I'm like, he doesn't have a lot of masculine.
Shots fired. Yeah.
He doesn't have a lot of masculine energy. I'm not assuming anything and stuff like that. I'm just saying what I can assume is that he doesn't have a lot of masculine energy. So therefore, I can see why he doesn't have maybe not have a lot of male friends to bring on.
Correct.
He's probably more comfortable hanging with the girls.
Correct. Well, look at that. What was that mat? He had a mat at his house that said what? I mean, like the mat was
he take off your shoes.
Right. I was like, what? Like, what guy friend that you know, like I got a few guy friends, but like you said, they would be my least masculine, most effeminate guy friends, right? You know, like I don't know. I don't know what in the world is going on with this new millennial generation. I mean, you can't tell the boys from the girls and the girls from the boys. I swear. But okay, so we're gonna wrap. We gotta keep going. Okay, so Sue Ann, this is what I was saying here. So on the date with Anthony and with Miriam, you know, his best friend Miriam, the married girlfriend, Sue Ann also seems to be on the defense. Now, Sue Ann keeps bringing up, even though she came to the date, she keeps bringing up the fact that this man, Anthony, has never really told her how he truly feels about her. This seems to really bother her. And to Cynthia's credit, Cynthia's claiming that she gonna put her foot down with her ex, her baby's, her children's father. And I'm like, Cynthia, you're beautiful. I love you. You're very sweet. But girl, if you was gonna put your foot down, you should have did that a few years ago. Cause like, how is this guy coming on a whole show making you look like he's still, regardless of what Andre supposedly or did say to him, he basically came across as very domineering and like he's still controlling her life. Now, did anybody else see that, or was it just me?
Well, I think they've been together since they was like little kids.
High school, yeah.
Yeah, so like he probably does have a say so with some stuff. You know what I mean? He gets
but what you're not gonna do is prevent me from finding love now that you gone. That's what you're not gonna do.
But what she's probably thinking is, hey, if I gotta choose a side between some guys I might not see again and my baby daddy I'm gonna have to see the rest of my life, that's the side I'm going.
What? Wait a minute. What happened to Alex? Alex just disappeared? Like we're in the middle of time. Yeah, okay, maybe something. Okay. Well, we never know. He'll be back. He'll be back with us. Yeah, Jay Brad in the audience. Monique is like, yeah, Jay, ain't he fine? He is fine as one. Oh, he's so fine. Oh my goodness.
Good dude.
Jay Brad. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to get back down to Houston now that I know some people from the show. I cannot wait. And yeah, Mocha Mima, to your point or not to your point, we're not really saying anything. We speculating. Mocha Mima is saying something just ain't right in the buttermilk with Anthony, according to her. We don't know, but we just watching the show like everybody else. And you know, you see what you see, and I'm not gonna deny what I see. Everybody say you see what you see. Hi Vibe. He does work in a female dominated industry, but I'm here to tell you, I once dated a male nurse, and I'm here to tell you, he worked in a female dominated industry too, but he was no Anthony. I'm sorry. That's just something. That's something that to me he kind of came up into that. Like that was even before his career. Like you come up, like we talked about. I don't know, Mocha, you were here for the Married at First Sight. I think sometimes in our community, a lot of men are growing up without fathers in the home. And I think this is a part of what you get when you grow up. A lot of men grow up with these fathers, no uncle, no granddad, no male figure, just mothers, and not knocking mothers.
Yeah.
But Alex, what do you think? You just popped.
And Aubrey and Ron. Yeah, my former father-in-law, he had all sisters. There's like 3 sisters he had. He's the only boy. Very, very feminine ways, but this man loves women. He's never been, gay or nothing like that. He just always had girlfriends, been married, loves women, but he has very, very feminine ways. So you can't always judge him by that. Sometimes that happens because, yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Sometimes, no, you were saying, but just to wrap up, you were saying that sometimes that happens because what now, you think?
Sometimes that happens because you just have sisters and a mother, no dad in the house, and you just around women all the time, and you just adapt some of their ways. But you're heterosexual. You just love women, okay, on both sides of it. But you prefer to date women. You're not gay in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I agree. I think they really are. I mean, Ron, you were going to add to it too. Thank you for that, Alex.
No, I've met guys like that too. So I that's why I said I ain't going through no assumptions and stuff like that. I think, like, I saw a comment on the comments talking about Sue was begging Anthony to, to recognize and stuff like that. I thought Sue was punking him. Like she knew something we don't know, and she was just like, "Tell me." No, you know what I mean? Like you, like, like, I already know what's going on here. Tell me.
Again, that came out of Ron's mouth, guys.
I
That
thought
came
she was
out of
pumping.
Ron's mouth.
And then because this is gonna be the real story. If Alex is 100% right,
Yeah.
then this is gonna be very interesting because women usually don't like a man that doesn't have a lot of masculine traits in their thing. Even though the ones that don't, I advocate for them guys. I was like, those are good guys too and stuff like that. The guy doesn't have to be. It is not one prototype for a black male. It could be all in one. Get some other prototypes a chance and things of that nature. If you're looking for just a good man, if that's your whole stint. So, but do women really stick with guys that don't have a lot of masculine traits? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm very curious myself to see because at this date looked like a disaster to me. It looked like none of the women were interested towards the end.
Yeah, it's almost
checked out. like Cynthia was kind of gone. I didn't see no.
Don't they know that man is a nurse practitioner? Do they know how much money he makes? No. Okay.
Yeah, but if you,
it's almost.
Yeah, I know. If you're you're making billions of dollars.
These are strong women and stuff like that, so they're gonna need a man that can. They're gonna need a wolf, and he ain't a wolf. You know what I mean?
No,
we knew in our season who were the wolves and who weren't. You know what I mean? Like he's not a wolf.
Yeah, like it's almost like the tall and short thing. You know, most women want a man they can look up to. You know, they want a taller guy they can look up to. They don't want a man they looking down on. You know, it's like that kind of thing.
Right, and but read what High Vibe says, Alex. Can you see the comment or no?
Not to say male nurses are gay. Yes.
Read on.
Yes. Not to say male nurses are gay. And the male nurses aren't necessarily masculine. Yes.
I think Alex is having some trouble. It seems like with your maybe with your Wi-Fi. I don't know if everybody else is hearing it because you're kind of going in and out. But she's saying, that not to say that male nurses are gay or happy or extremely excited, but that she's an RN and male nurses aren't necessarily the most masculine is what she's saying. Yeah. Good point. And to Ron's point too is that there's a very good video out. I want to shout out one of our members here, Sonia G Coaching. Sonia G Coaching is on YouTube, right on these YouTube streets, and she just did this video, I think within a few days, about masculinity and about men being so-called emasculated. And she asked the question, what really truly is masculinity? And I guess that's a whole conversation for another podcast, another episode, guys. We got to move on and push on with this, but do women like men that are not traditionally masculine, that are more tender?
And here's the thing that I saw today in some of the comments I was watching. People were loving Anthony, like as a favorite. It's like they were loving some past guests that were not really masculine in the form. And I always say like, you like a man you want a masculine man, but you don't like masculine men.
Right.
Which a lot of women are like that these days. Like they want a masculine man, but they don't like him. That's why they toxic masculinity, because a masculine man will tell you what's up and put. You know what I mean? They don't want none of that. But so they like the non-masculine man because they're friendly. They ain't gonna say to get out of pocket.
They can kind of run over them. They can kind of. But
they're not sexually attracted to them because they don't think they can hold it down, or whatever like that. But they don't want. Yeah, so they'll be like, I like Anthony. Yeah, he's a good person, good like that. Yeah, but would you have a long-term relationship with him? Would you want it? Does he make you sexually there? You know what I mean? Is he or that? Do you trust him for safety 100% in any scenario? You start asking them questions like, no, but they don't. You know what I mean? They're so jaded from the masculine man because of society thinks that they can pass relationships, so they don't want no part of that.
I'm going to use this analogy, Ron. You ever heard this expression when somebody's coming to your home, your house to do some remodeling or some work, and the guy says, yeah, we can do it quick, we can do it cheap, and we can do it fast. But guess what? You can only get two out of the three. You can get the fast and the quick. Well, I mean, you can get we can do a job well and we can do it quick, but it ain't gonna be cheap. You can get cheap and you can get whatever. You know what I'm saying? You only can get 2 of the 3. So is it like that way with masculine men and women's love hate relationship with masculine men and not so masculine men or traditionally masculine men? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got
Like,
to take a pick. If you're a woman that wants it all, you're not going to go for Anthony because it ain't all there. So, like, yeah, you're going to have to you got to pick your poison.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You may not be able to get everything. Because I remember when I was really young and I was dating, I would just have these great dates. And I mean, I was dating doctors, lawyers, Indian chiefs, engineers, the whole 9 yards. And all the guys were great. But sometimes I would say, I'd get down to like 2 guys and I would say, if only I could smoosh these 2 guys together, what this guy has and what that guy has. You know what I'm saying? And it's always the thing. You can't really smush the people together.
You can't
you
smush
gotta
together.
pick.
And then Anthony's problem is, these are not the women that's gonna. They got some strong women on this season.
Yeah,
Just in nature, like, you know what I mean, his personality and things of that nature, and they're not gonna go for it. Like, I'm not saying that he's not. He's a good catch. He's gonna find love, so it's gonna take a certain type of woman.
Absolutely.
Have you guys ever heard the expression that no woman wants a man who's in the mirror more than she is?
Oh yeah, all the time. I say that. I definitely darn sure don't want a man in the mirror more than me. Like if he's fine and he's like all into the mirror, I mean, I want him to be, well groomed and take care of himself. But no, if you are vainer than I am as a man, that's a problem because I find that personally, I find that to be an effeminate trait, and I got a problem with you. I got a problem with you, thinking that you're cuter than me. I got a problem with that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think he's vain on that subject. I just think he gets out some tendencies that some women will go for, some women won't. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. And yeah, I mean, I'd be very curious to see what happened in his last situation with his daughter. With the kids' mom.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because that's right. He's the one that does have a daughter too.
Yeah, the daughter.
That's right. That's right. And High Vibe is contributing again. She's saying that for the most part, these male nurses, they're married with kids or just have kids. I found them to be very mild mannered. And you know what? Again, I see. You know what? I guess it's how people group things. Because High Vibe, like I said again, I dated a male nurse, and he was certainly had good what they call good bedside manner. He knew how to talk to me. He knew how to talk to other people, but he was in no ways effeminate. He was definitely masculine. He had been married, was divorced, had a child. So I don't know, like the mild manner thing, I don't think that's necessarily effeminate, but all this flicking with the wrist and all that kind of stuff that Ron spoke of, I do find that to be effeminate.
Yeah, everybody's seeing it. And then, like I said, if I was a male nurse, I'd be fighting.
Ron, you would not be a male nurse. You ain't got no bedside manner.
Hey, I have compassion, but
you do.
Yeah, but I'm saying if I was, I'd be like,
you would probably be in trouble though.
Miss Nurse, you want to go to happy hour? Miss Nurse.
Right. Or what about the cute patients, with those little open gowns and stuff? You would be in trouble. You couldn't be.
No, I ain't doing that far. But if I'm going to work with all the women and we all going to happy hours, and I'm the only guy there, we going to company dinners, and I'm the only guy there, I'm going to find me something at the hospital. Shoot.
I'm not trying to. Who is this, D? I'm not trying to tear Anthony down. He deserves more grace. You know what? It's so hard. I'm gonna have you up here, D. Next time I'm gonna drop the link. In fact, you know what? Let's do that next week, guys. Right? Let's do that. We're gonna drop the link and have some of our viewers come up and chat with us. Let's try to do that. Honestly, though, you got to pick a side at some point. I stay on the fence as long as possible. I ride the fence. I rode the fence with Married at First Sight with this guy, Shaquille. People are saying what they're saying about Shaquille. I rode the fence as long as I could. But at some point, you got to call it for what you see it as. And if I find out I'm mistaken, I was incorrect, I'm going to come back and say it just like my friend Ron always does. And just like my friend Alex always does here. Okay. But we're giving them grace.
I ain't saying nothing. I'm just saying, D, if it's so much grace, would you date him? I mean,
I wouldn't. Personally, me, no. He would never be. I mean, even if I was young enough, I'm too old now, I'd be old enough to be his mother. But no, I would have never dated him in my 20s or 30s. No, he doesn't. He's not. He's attractive to look at, but I'm not sexually, physically attracted to him and his mannerisms. I
Yeah,
find
because
them.
a lot of
I
women would
find
be
them
like,
off-putting.
he's a good guy, he's a nice guy. It was we heard that on my season all the time about like KG, great guy, good girl. Oh, all the women. I'm like, girls, are you really gonna sexually jump on? You know what I mean? Because if you are, he's been here, he's been around here in Houston. Why ain't all y'all throwing it out? You know
Well,
what I mean?
with KG now, let's say I don't know if unless I missed something. Your season, KG, the dark skinned DJ guy, right?
Yeah.
KG was not effeminate, but KG was kind of considered to be a dusty.
Yeah, Dusty, but I mean, he had
But
a job.
I mean, but what
I ain't
are
gonna
you
say he's a
saying though? Why are you saying the women wouldn't date him, Ron? What's your point? I'm okay. If I'm missing something, tell
well,
me.
KG, you know what I mean? He's a very slender guy, real small. He doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
He has a very deep masculine voice, but
Yes.
as tendencies, it ain't like, you know what I mean. He's not the guy that's gonna throw the football. You know what I mean? Like that ain't what he does. He does, other stuff. He's into wine and arts and things of that nature. And I'm like, okay, women are like, oh, good God, this and this and this and that. Like some of the women on the show, but when it came down to like the sexual attraction and you're gonna be with them and doing that and that, some people were ducking, like like this and that. I was like, well, how can he be both? He's a great guy. Get with him and get with him. If not, then call it what it is. But don't, you get what I'm saying?
well, with him, so I think in other words, maybe we're alluding to maybe the physical part of it as well as maybe some financial parts, but certainly the physical part.
He's just more in the masculine. I'm just gonna group it all in as masculinity in full. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I'm just saying that. Okay, Anthony's great. These guys are great guys, and this and that, and they are great guys. I'm advocating for them. I'm saying, okay, these guys are so great and this and that. Then what you waiting for? why are you dating these other type of guys? Then why don't you jump on these guys? Then if it's just we're misunderstanding, the situation over here. Go for them. They're single.
Right. Well, you know what? Thank you.
I don't like women capping. I don't like women capping. You know what I mean?
You don't like them capping? Well, okay. So we get
capping. Y'all be capping sometimes. Y'all be like, ooh, he this and this and that and stuff like that. But none of the type of guys in your past and stuff is anything like this guy. You know what I mean? So what's it gonna be?
What's it gonna be? Well, tell us what's it gonna be. Tell the people, Ron, and we're at the end of the show. Tell the people how they can reach out and find you and be all up in your DMs like I be all up in your DMs. Okay, tell them how to do that. Where can they reach you at, Ron?
You can reach me on I am Ron Freeman. That's on Instagram and Facebook.
And Ron, he got a lot to say. He will let you know what his thoughts are. You will never guess where you stand with Ron. Okay, never. All right, and then Alex, tell them how they can find you over here on these YouTube streets because they better not be in your DMs. Alex?
Yeah. Magnetic repellent here on YouTube, Leith on IG. Yes, I've been having some issues here. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not.
Somewhat.
Yeah, I'm in and out. Yeah, I'm in and out. But magnetic repellent, thank you guys for all the condolences. Appreciate you. Love you guys.
We love you too. We love you too, and we'll continue to keep you and your family in our prayers as far as the loss of your wonderful brother-in-law that was together with your sister for all those decades. That's truly a testament to true love. That's where the people are ready to love are trying to get to, right? At some point that they marry and have this long-term marriage and this life together that they build together. Guys, I want to thank you for being here. If you're still here and you haven't hit that like button, hit the like button. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? It's free. It's free 99. If you're watching us on the replay, please don't watch on the replay and think you're going to slide out of here and not hit the like button. That is so disrespectful. Come on now. We're better than that. This is Women's History Month. Hit it because I'm a woman. Just hit it because I'm a woman. And I got these two handsome gentlemen holding court with me, and we are entertaining you guys and giving you the tea on Ready to Love this season 7, Miami. Guys, we're gonna slide on out of here. You guys got anything else to say before we wrap up? Well, don't all scream at the same
No,
time.
good. Just love
Yeah,
everybody.
good.
Yeah.
All right, right. Thanks for being here as always. We missed the rest of our panel, but I'm sure they'll be back next week. Everybody got things going on, but we'll be back in full force next week, same time, same place, 6:30. We'll see you then, guys. Love you. Peace.